about to start recording, and it's like, wait, it's like, you didn't hit the record button! Ah! Yeah, start. Great. Welcome back to Phoenix Friday's Attorney. We're in the second day of the trial, the last case. And that was, I think, the longest investigation yet. I believe the next investigation day actually splits into two. It's so long. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in two different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested in the other crime scene. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope I didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Anna. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye, we discovered traces left behind by a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. You found Officer Marshall's traces, blood-stained fingerprints to be exact. That's a trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. February 24th. The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach criminal affairs from the prosecutor's office. The victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what set Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, Your Honor, sir. Mike Meekin, sir. My occupation is, Dowdy murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, that's me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I never killed again. I don't want to get so you gotta believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person in accent adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, part generation must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned a guardian in the room that day. I spanned the security screen and rushed to the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. I remember this trial day being extremely long. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do you know what you? That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. Events may begin cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. There we go. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the head detective, sir. Oh god, this thing. I was ensure it wasn't broken in the transfer process. That's my sole mission for the day, sir. No wonder this thing is in evidence. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony up in Zephyr, there were so many people running around that I reclocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here on my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed here, right? Yes. There it is! I found it! There's the one right there! Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir! It's 498-89596! That's my number, sir! I see, huh? But the number 498-9596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I recalled the Blue Badger to the evidence room. The second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see, so it was during the second time when... Yes, sir, that was when I spotted the man on the security system. Thank you. Oh, God. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened here? It was a knife, sir, a knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, when me tried to get on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into you. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... I saw blood trickling down my arm. I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I felt in my life. Good. Well, what exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look like a type, but I'm really into kung fu kind of films, sir. The man let his guard down for an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife. I spun around performing a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. Must have been desperate. The next thing I knew was White was drinking a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in the face, sir! Okay, enough with the microphone! Enough with the megaphone! My ears can only take so much. What time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the young sport. Things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The Chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sure. It contains photos of the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked that there was such a tape, and was told that it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Clearly. Communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Yes, what are we getting ourselves into? Okay. And it's a swiveling camera. Well, if this was a horror movie, I would expect like a scare out of this, like Paranormal Activity. Which Paranormal Activity was that? That the swiveling camera, it was like attached to like a fan, that like a swivel fan. They took the fan part off and then like attached the camera to it, so it swiveled. I think that was their explanation for its swiveling motion. Which Paranormal Activity movie was that? I don't remember. And that thing is out of the... Okay. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred with... What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's a pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised? This isn't going smoothly. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. Oh God, there's more. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened was unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be that no one else could have unlocked it. Oh God, which should I press? What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint activator lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna press this one. Come on. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I must have tried all kinds of methods in the past. The police found a registered fingerprint, sir. What kind of methods you tried? If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, in this too! Locker he opened is unquestionably technical. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the apartment cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir, please do, after all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened his fingerprint lock. It was his hand that tried to throw his knife into my body, sir. My own self-stake can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Yes, I have a problem with it. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not be Detective Goodman. What? The video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us such a contradiction in the video. He would want me to point out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let's further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play a security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I point out a problem with the video. First time I ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates this man is not Detective Goodman? Fast forward, pause. And it is right here, this little light. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, the sensor reads your fingerprint. If the print matches the registered data, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Right, this video we have to go through it so much, and it's so slow when they do. Oh god, that's why this trial takes for fucking ever. What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order, what's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have been broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show an officers should keep their mouth shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Oh, maybe something like jam the electronic system. Something jam the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. Fast forward. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Right there. That was not the present button. That was most definitely not the present button. Please watch closely. This is the continuation part I showed you earlier.
I go through it so slowly.
Why so slow? What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out of doors when they open. I often fall out of great distances when I open my car door, sir. Objection to that, please. We can't be sure that item was in the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Oh my god, I gotta watch it again! We gotta do this like 5 more times in this trial. Right? Like it's at least 5 more times. This white thing was inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. I understand now, sir, just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times I get stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object has to be extremely thin to fit in that door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. At the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, my insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker room? The ear rubber glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp testifies to that. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! Order. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? You'll not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The events have merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Detective Bruce Gooden. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Oh god, hiccups. Please stop. Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. There's one other thing that proves the name of Detective Goodman, sir. The only item term one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, Detective had to use his card. Okay, yes, and that's, yep. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases. Extremely violent police cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and the most were cleared by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination. Okay, this is a short one. This does not seem important to press. This one does, though. Is that a card hanging from your neck, one of these ID cards? Yes, sir, this card right next to my cuff, sir. It keeps it here so I'll never forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember I said to you how 3 times my tie gets stuck in my car door when I get out? Well, the remaining time my ID card gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. When ID card used is a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. He's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, you can hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Or Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. Okay. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from this contradiction. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Time the crime ticket to use ID card. Where is it? Goodman's lost item report. We're going to assume that he lost his ID card because he can't fill it out. Yes. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room of the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half completed, but shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The main officer making the car in the evidence room will not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekin encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only a moment ago you seemed intent to be pointing your finger around. This isn't good. Very well. It seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense have already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video was a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Trustworthy my ass. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekin encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? There. This cross-examination proved only one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Do we really gotta see this like this? Come on! Oh my goodness! This is so long! Oh my... Stop! However, it cannot be said it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination of the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident of the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean, Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? Jake Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel like we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Subpoenaed? How do you say that word? Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court in recess. Great. Recess. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. This is awkward. Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making detective run around while on duty. Top it all if you call me here. I've seen half your people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Miss Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother to bring me the SL9 instant files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. SL9 instant. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, but now that I brought you stuff, you're going to ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? Time to read that file. Criminal Joe Dark, crime serial murder, sentence death. Victims, Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. Head Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Executive Investigators Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head Investigators Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this is a 9 instant, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago. The rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark? No, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait, she ran away. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Demon Camp, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. To be continued in the next episode. Whew. Next episode, we'll be cross-examining Jake Marshall. Now that we know that he has a connection to the SL9 incident, this is going to be very interesting. See you guys then.